It's Sunday, March 29th, and I recently just got back from a couple of days in Massachusetts where I hosted a couple of different events. The first one was in Boxborough, Massachusetts, where I was doing dinner with spirits, and the next one was in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where I was doing gifts from spirit. And there were some themes that kept happening, and I want to share with you what they were. I want them to give you a little piece, if possible, and I want to just illustrate why this work is so important to me. At both of the events that I hosted, there were a couple dads in the audience, and these were very good men. And unfortunately, it's a fact of life. Not all men are good. Not all men are healthy and giving and protective. But at each event, there were dads. And, they might have been a little bit of a skeptic of me, and I love skeptics. They had both lost children, and during the event, I got drawn to both of these dads. The common denominator between the two of them, because they took their parenthood so seriously, is they were in this mental process of beating themselves up over what could they have done, what should they have done, the coulda, woulda, shouldas, I could have seen this, I should have seen this, I should have yelled harder, I should have done this. And both children came through me to illustrate to both of those fathers, there was not a thing that you could have done. You weren't responsible for it, you didn't contribute to it, you couldn't have done a thing about it. And these children were watching their fathers suffer unnecessarily. Now the moms were, I think one was a stepmom, the other one was a mom. They seemed to almost be a little bit more at peace because they understood that for one of these children, especially, that they were at peace. They weren't suffering in their human life anymore. And the dads seemed to be a little bit more emotional about it, which is interesting because I think we know the stereotype of women being more emotional than men. That is a stereotype and not an accurate one, I'm not sure. But these dads were very much in this place of beating themselves up. And what I had to say to them is they were holding on to stories that they wouldn't want other people, especially in that position, to hold on to. If any other person in that room had lost a child, they wouldn't want those people to hold on to that story. That's unfortunate. Because they were almost being hypocritical in that way, telling themselves and putting themselves through these stories that they wouldn't want other people to. And then, of course, their children were upset and angry. Not angry, but upset and frustrated because it's like, you didn't do it. You didn't cause it. Why are you, grieving is hard enough without adding, and I say this with love, adding the illogical part to it. The illogical part is that I should have done, I could have done. That's not going to bring our people back. It's not going to give us peace. And this is something that I truly believe in. When we want our loved ones in spirit to rest in peace, we need to live in peace because they know us, they feel us, they see us. And this is just the nature of loving relationships. When we want people that we love, whether they are in spirit or in this world, to be at peace, we have to be at peace. If I want my husband or my parents to be at peace, I have to be at peace. If I want my grandmother in spirit to be at peace, I have to be at peace. So that's why I focus on my peace. Now, where does this come into play for you? You are most likely holding on to a regret, a shame, a guilt that you wouldn't want another human to hold on to. So, I'll offer you up this. Think of something that you regret in your past, something that you might feel shame over or be guilty of. And then I want you to think about another person in your life, a loved one, like a sister, a child, best friend, feeling that way about that circumstance. I don't think you'd want them to. So if you can start showing up for yourself in the way you'd want other people to show up for themselves, your life will change. You will have peace, and your loved ones in spirit and all around you will have peace. And that is so important. So if you were there over the course of the weekend at any of my events, thank you so much for being there and supporting me in this magical midnight roadshow that I host. But just know that you have access to love within you. You know what you would tell somebody else if they were feeling that regret. You start tapping into that, and everybody who loves you will know peace when you know peace. All my love to you. You can find me, my readings, podcast, meditations on my website at joshsimons.com.